Hello everyone and welcome back to Homesteading Haven. I am Sister Mary and you are watching Cooking in the Kitchen with Sister Mary. What are we cooking up today? We are cooking up vegetable beef soup. It is still winter and this is a hearty, wonderful dish. I'm going to make more than we actually will eat for today, but it is even better later. So let's get started. I've got some ground beef here already. I also have already got an onion chopped up. Put that in there. Let me see if I can't salvage some of this. There we go. Have to be careful touching this stove. I don't want to get burned. Waste not, want not. Just going to give this a quick stir before I do anything else. We are cooking on a Great Majestic wood stove. I've already had my iron skillets on top of the stove while I had put my wood in, and it's been warming up. We want to get all of that next to the heat. Next, while that is started, I am going to take, remember those wonderful sausage bacon drippings that I told you to keep? We are going to put some in the skillet because we are going to, instead of making a thing of cornbread, we are going to do the hoe cakes. That's just a lot quicker. And I feel like easier to deal with than a wedge of cornbread. I will tell you what I've got in my cornbread. I did make up a little bit more than what we need, but I've got 2 cups of cornmeal, 1/2 cup of flour. My mother would always put flour in her cornbread mix. I've also got an egg and I've got a cup of milk. I also have a 1/2 cup of oil and blend that all together. I also put probably 3 tablespoons of sugar. Yes, you heard me right. Sugar. When I was growing up, we would eat cornbread by itself. It was almost like dessert. I hear my fire roaring, but I really hope that this is hot enough. Let's give our grease just another minute or two. And let's talk about our ingredients for this vegetable soup. I'm going to be adding 6 cans of mixed vegetables. Also, the largest can of diced tomatoes. And then I will also be putting in a little garlic salt, some oregano leaves, and yes, a secret ingredient. Remember, Sister Mary tells you to use things that you like. But Brother John and I like things that are spicy. So, not too spicy, but I'm going to use this Creole Seasoning. It is indeed great on everything. My meat is starting to brown already. We want all of this to cook down and almost be completely done. I'm going to open the damper on my stove so that that wood will go ahead and just keep burning hot. Oh yeah, this is going to be very good. Let's see if we've given enough time for our oil to heat up in our pan. I'm just going to start out with a small hoe cake. We're going to let that start sizzling before I add any more. I'm going to check my wood in this firebox. It is burning quite nicely. Brother John, you may hear him on the tractor. He has already been down to check on the goats. It is probably 30 degrees here this morning. And I believe snow is in the forecast again for us Thursday. Now we are in the nice winter season. And if you use wood at all, like I've talked about, you know that this is a constant, having to keep your wood ready. It has to have time to dry out for you to be able to use it good. Alright, I've got a lid that I'm going to put on this for just a minute. It is starting to brown up. You know, you can make these soups, and you can actually ground your meat almost done, put it in a crock pot, put all of your ingredients in with it, set it on low, and that would be ready for you after a day of chores or work. This skillet is warm, but it's not heating up like I wanted it, so I'm going to try to move it over a little bit. I have just about used all of my dry wood, and what we've got in the bucket right now, or in the firebox, it is still drying out. I do have a nice bed of coals here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. You have to forgive me, I'm still an amateur. There we go. You can see it burning in there. Got to keep that thing full of wood for it to cook for you. Now I'm trying to do this in a good amount of time for you all, so normally it wouldn't matter how long it's taken me. I am going to, there's more than one damper on this stove, so I'm going to open the one at the top, see if that will give me a little bit more heat. We definitely do not want our fire to go out when we are cooking. You know, living on a homestead, you get up in the mornings, and especially when it's cold outside, this is just part of your day, is keeping your firewood and keeping your fires going. So we have one in the back, we have one up front here in the kitchen area, and that keeps everything warm. Maybe not as warm as some. You know, when you are living on the grid, you have the convenience of going and turning up that thermostat if you want to. Yeah, you can see that. Brother John and I have to get up through the night when it's real cold and keep putting wood in the main fire, the wood stove. I do not keep this kitchen fire going past the time that I'm going to bed. So I do keep a fire in it all day long. You know, last night I was thinking about people who lived in the 1800s, the 1900s, the early 1900s, and how they did live in these one-room houses and they had these stoves. This is probably, with no doubt, how they heated their home. And I was thinking about people having to get up and keep fire, and they didn't have alarms like we do. I guess an alarm clock that winds up was available. I want my hamburger meat done before I start adding anything else, because I'm not going to be letting it sit here cooking for hours. I'm going to leave it right there and let it keep getting hot. I can definitely feel the heat from the stove. I know you can't, but it is very warm. I have heard of people having to open their kitchen doors too. I'm sure they did that back in the day. They would open their door to keep things from getting too hot, because this is how they cooked all the time. Can you imagine? Now, the way I do it, we will eat breakfast on the stove. I'll cook something, mostly eggs, sometimes pancakes. Brother John's not a big fan of bread. I am. I like oatmeal, and I like grits. But Brother John said that he ate so much oatmeal and grits oatmeal when he was growing up, that he will eat it from time to time, but he enjoys those eggs from our chickens. I did go out there yesterday to get a few chicken eggs, and because the temperature has been what it has been, I didn't get one. So I thought, how blessed I have been that it's already past middle of January, almost the end of January, and we have continued to get eggs. Now, today, we may be blessed with some eggs when I go out to check. You may have heard, or you may hear again, our dogs, our Anatolian and the Pyrenees, they are inside. It was so cool this morning. I let them out for a little while, and then they came back to the door. So when they come back to the door, they are wanting back in because they are still puppies. But they will have to go down with the goats. And I was hoping to be able to keep them in the house as a pet, but that's not the way it's going to work. They are outside dogs. They are herd protectors. And as much as I love them and how beautiful they are, I'm not going to be able to have my cake and ice cream at the same time. Know what I mean? I am going to pull this. This one right here is fine. I am going to pull it forward a little bit just to be able to pull this one over. This is where my fire is right now, I believe. Excuse the lighting. Going to keep stirring this as it's already browning for me. I love soups during the winter. It's almost like as much as you like a salad in the summer, or you like a cold sandwich in the summer. That's how I feel about soups. And because it's Wednesday and Brother John does a study in the Word, later on Lighting the Way, we usually have some kind of soup or chili, something in a pot on Wednesdays, so he can eat when he wants to, and then he can start studying as early as he wants to. You hear me? I'm going to keep checking my fire. It's doing wonderful, but I know that when you use a regular stove, you're used to hearing all of your food cooking because you're able to adjust your temperature But in a wood stove, you just got to keep it hot so it continues to cook as hot as it will. I would like to ask everybody who currently watches if you would subscribe. We're trying to get to the minimum of the 1,000 subscribers so I'm able to go live. It'd be nice that when I'm outside doing things that I'm able just to go live and not have to come in and upload the video and tell your friends about Homesteading Haven. Share it on Facebook. All right. I don't know if you can tell, but it is browning up. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding the other ingredients, and I'm going to let this continue to cook on the stove for a while. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of my Creole Seasoning. And I'm using garlic salt because I do have some garlic, but I did not chop any up. So I thought, well, we'll use this. I'm using the salt instead of the powder. Also, I'm just going to put a few oregano leaves in here. You use whatever you want. Let's give this a good stir. All right. Let's add our diced tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can, and it is the petite diced tomatoes. And I'm going to start adding my cans of mixed vegetables. Now, you are free to use frozen vegetables if that's what you have. I am a believer in using what you've got. I might be able to get that other can in there. I told you it was going to be more than we need. But it's already Wednesday, so we can eat this for a few days. I like cooking enough. Brother John definitely likes leftovers. Like I said, they are better the days after. I'm just going to blend all of this really good before I add this last can. And I can tell you right now I'm going to have to add more seasoning. But you will do your taste test, and add the seasoning until it reaches your desired flavor. Everybody can be a cook. Now, you can drain some of the juices off of the mixed vegetables if you want to, but because I'm going to leave that on the stove for a few more hours, I know that will cook down. I also have some tomato juice that's already opened, and I will put at least a cup or two of tomato juice in this because we do like tomato flavor. Some people don't. So you'll just have to do what's right for you. Well, that's it, my friends. That is it. It wasn't too difficult. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but my meat is already It has already browned up. I don't believe it's quite done yet, but we're going to put our lid on. And I'm going to be able to, whoa, you can tell how hot the stove is now. I'm going to be able to walk away from this and go do some more chores. I'm going to see if we can't move this around since I'm going to leave this on the stove for a little bit. I'm going to move that pot over. And I'm going to bring this one back down. See if we can at least get 1 or 2 hoe cakes ready. Now for you who live in a different country and you don't know what I'm talking about, hoe cakes, this is cornbread. And as you learn from America, Southern cooking, we also learn from your cuisines. One of my favorite things to do is to watch other channels, especially cooking channels. Anything to do with farming, I enjoy quite a bit. Go ahead and see if I can lift this one up. Yes, look at here, we can. It's just not what I want it to be, but you know what? That might be good enough that we can go ahead and add a little bit more of our batter mix, our cornbread mix. All right, we got something going on now. We've got our cornbread, our hoe cakes. They are cooking up. Our soup is looking good in the neighborhood. For those of you who are interested in a ministry channel, you may follow Brother John and I at Lighting the Way on YouTube. There are daily devotions, Bible lessons, a study in the Word with Brother John every Wednesday and Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time, and also a solemn assembly of prayer every evening at 6 o'clock except Saturday evenings. Saturdays we have taken to spend with our family, spend with our community, our friends, and the Lord more than we do the rest of the week. I hope that God is in your thoughts throughout your day. We are living in a time now that so much is happening on the world scene. We can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. There's so much news. Hard to digest everything that's happening. But Matthew 24 says that when you begin to see these things happen, then it's time to look up because your redemption draweth nigh. So I encourage everybody, whatever you've believed in the past, what you believe right now, Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. We will each give an account because we are the generation without an excuse. I don't believe this is ready to flip yet, so we're just going to hang on. Hold on. I know you get the general idea of this meal. So we're going to go ahead and end our time together. This segment of Cooking in the Kitchen with Sister Mary. And I will try to bring you at least 2 to 3 cooking videos a week for a little while. when summer gets here, there'll be more gardening chores than I have right now. So I'm not going to promise anything. Maybe we'll just fix cold things together, quick things together. When summer gets here, we'll keep our focus on summer. But right now, this is how we're eating. We're eating to keep our calories up and to stay healthy during this time of, nobody wants to say it, during this time of great sickness that's been upon the face of the earth. I'm going to try to give you a closer look at everything without having to take my camera off the stand. Looks like a pancake, doesn't it? All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed. Give thanks unto the Father above for your blessings that you have. Pray for those that are in need. Do what you can to be God's hands, feet, and mouthpiece. You know, God has placed you and I in specific areas to share the good news and to be the light in the world. And always remember that greater is He that is in you, the believer, Jesus, than he, Satan, that is in the world. No weapon formed against us prospers in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Until next time, this has been In the Kitchen with Sister Mary. And you've been watching Homesteading Haven.